Ah, welcome. The party has just begun.
I'm afraid I don't feel too much like partying tonight. Mrs. Thaxton, I came down to ask if you'll excuse me.
Nonsense, my dear. We're short on party guests as it is. And you must call Mrs. Thaxton Ada. Everyone calls her Ada. You see, we're what is called here one big happy family at Desmond Hall.
I don't want to disappoint you, but...
You have a headache. Well, Ada will get you some medication while I entertain you. I've been meaning to talk to you, Miss Blair. Or should I call you Emily? Ada, something for the lady's headache.
I really shouldn't stay.
Come nearer the fire. Sit down. I will pour you a glass of wine, and before you know it, your headache will be gone.
I'm really very upset.
Upset?
About Jean-Paul.
Oh, have you seen him this evening?
Yes.
How is he? Mrs. Hatter was very concerned about him when she left Desmond Hall last night.
Why should Mrs. Hatter be upset?
Oh, I don't know. Feminine intuition, I suppose. He was unduly angry at all of us last night. I sensed a certain lack of trust. Very unhealthy, don't you think? Emily, do you trust me?
Why do you ask that?
Well, I've always been truthful and honest. When you arrived, I admit I was very disturbed.
You were downright hostile.
Because of my obligation to the family. But I felt no one should be allowed to probe in the libraries. But since Philip...
Yes, Philip?
Well, it seems that he wanted you to do your research here. And I believed I'd been cooperative, made you a welcome guest.
Jean-Paul has made me feel welcome.
And he is the master, isn't he? Emily, I've been meaning to ask you, there are certain things in your studies thus far that are especially interesting.
It's all interesting.
Yes, but there must be certain secrets which no one has dug out of the family archives.
If there were something secret, I would feel obliged to keep that secret.
From me? That's rather foolish. I know a lot about the Desmond family, more than some who possess the name. There are certain things that interest me. For instance, there is a secret room.
That room is Philip's.
But Jean-Paul and Court know the location.
Philip invited Court to the room.
I can't think why. From what I understand, it's ghoulish enough without adding Court to it. Where is this room?
I can't tell you that.
Well, then, tell me what's in it. What did Philip Desmond do in that room?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thaxton. I can't...
Laszlo, my dear. There was a diary. A diary kept by Philip Desmond. I want to see that diary.
Please. You're making me uncomfortable. Besides, you know that I
Your
can't...
medicine, Emily.
Yes, well, drink it down, my dear. Perfectly harmless. And you'll be feeling much better spirits.
Laszlo, I've insisted that Court join us.
You needn't have.
I want him to respect you. Respect is very important. Wouldn't you say so, Emily? And honesty concerning others?
Ada, your husband and I were talking about my research here at Desmond Hall.
I didn't mean to imply...
Of course you didn't, my dear. Now, where is Holly? We must enlarge this circle.
I don't know where Holly is. She went for a walk early this morning and she hasn't returned.
Has no one gone to look for her?
Well, I wouldn't worry. She's probably gone to Mrs. Hatter's cottage. Going to stay the night.
But she would have called.
Well, perhaps she has. Perhaps Raxel...
No, Raxel's looking for Jean-Paul.
A veritable band of nomads. Well, sit down, my dear. We shall entertain ourselves.
No, I want to go look for Jean-Paul.
I said, sit down. I wouldn't think of letting you go out on a night like this. You didn't drink your medicine. I take it your headache is gone?
Yes.
Well, then you must have a drink. A glass of nice, dark, red wine, I think. That will put you in a good humor. And good humor is important, especially for a guest isolated like you are here, in an ancient, quiet house, removed from civilization, as it were. Here, drink this. You will enjoy it. The grapes are grown in our own vineyards, and there is something about the soil of Desmond Hall that provides a distinctly bittersweet flavor. Later on, there will be champagne. So let's drink. Drink to our missing guests, wherever they may be.